Well, hello everyone. Welcome to this funny haha tier list of all my favorite Demoman weapons in TF2. And the reason I'm doing this is because I was like, hey, that was popular back in 2016. What if I did it in 2021? And here we are. So, just to give you a little rundown of how these work, you can see here on the left we have my favorite, which are weapons that I absolutely love. I have I like it, use occasionally, I don't like it, and Demonite. Now, the reason Demonite's its own little category down there is because I don't play Demonite, and there are weapons that I just don't use, so I'm just going to put them in the Demonite category. So let's just go ahead and start. So what should we start with first? How about the grenade launcher? Now, the grenade launcher is Demoman's bread and butter. This is what everybody starts out with. This is absolutely my most favorite weapon out of all the weapons that Demoman has. Simply because there's no downsides to it, but you know, to me there isn't any better option. This is the best one here. So that's why it's going up there. It's very reliable, very consistent, yada yada yada. Now let's go down and see what the other one we got here. How about the Iron Bomber? Now, this one has had a lot of controversy recently because there are people that supposedly this has hitboxes. Its hitboxes for its grenades are bigger than all the other ones. I don't know if that's true. People said it was fake. People said it was true. I'll leave it up to you to decide because I really don't care. To me personally, these two are just so similar in how they operate, how they function, compared to like the other grenade launchers we have down here, that they might as well be the same thing essentially. But I'm gonna put the Iron Bomber. It's good in certain situations. I'll put it in I like it. I don't think it's the best, but I like it still. The Coconut Maul Gun. Now this one is just more of a meme. There's not really a lot of people that use this except maybe hybrid knights that want to get across the map or jumped up to high places, so they'll use this to jump. As far as like, is it a bad weapon? Not really. It's just very, very unreliable. Double donks are not something that's easy to come by, but it is fun to jump around with this thing, so there is that. But I'll put in I use it occasionally. I don't really use this a lot. And for the last grenade launcher, the Lock and Load. Now this one, I have a rough history with this one. So this is basically Demo's direct hit. That's all this really is, except it rewards you for hitting buildings. Does 125% more damage against buildings. Now, I wouldn't really have a problem with this, because if it was like, you know, you could see if the grenades had like a tumble or something, right? You know, these other, like, let me just show you. You see these, like, these ones here? Every one of these grenades that comes out of these guns here, you can see them tumble through the air. You know, you might see them like come through the air. You might dodge left, you might dodge right, you know, having a good time. But this right here, no, you just hear that noise. You hear that noise, and it's like you're already dead, kid. And it's just very annoying to fight against. But thankfully, there are people that don't really use it much because it's rather cringe, isn't it? So we're gonna put in I don't like it. I don't like the Lock and Load. The stock sticky launcher. Now, the sticky launcher itself has a bad rap because there are people that kind of run around and might occasionally fire multiple grenades in succession at somebody. Maybe sometimes have a crit screen medic attached to their ass, but that's not the point. I really like the sticky launcher because to me this is how I get around maps. This is how I set traps for people to blow them up and catch them off guard. This really can save my life in a lot of situations where this thing can't. So at least there's a backup plan for Demo when it comes to if I'm getting chased, if I'm, you know, running down a hallway, maybe there's a scout chasing me, I can pop a grenade on the floor or a sticky on the floor, and then that might keep him back for a few seconds while I can get away, etc, etc. I think it's really good. I'm a stock purist, what can I say? How about the Quickie Launcher? Now, this one I hardly ever see people use, and that's because I guess it's because it's got 4 grenades in the magazine. I'm not actually sure, but there's a lot of upsides to using this thing. It can destroy other stickies. If you fully charge your stickies, they do more damage. it actually takes less time to charge stickies on this thing. It's actually a really good weapon. I think that it should, you know, get a lot more love, but unfortunately people don't. But hey, look at that, we're making pairs already. Usually you see this and this together all the time. The Scottish Resistance. I don't like this one. I don't see a reason in using it. You can set traps everywhere, and you know it highlights through walls that you can, like, you don't actually have to watch your trap. You can be like, ooh, I'm gonna time this perfectly. Maybe I'll catch somebody off guard if I just hit this at the right time. But unfortunately, you can't quite fire the grenades unless you're looking at them. Like, you can't detonate them unless you're looking at them. Plus, sticky jumping is a little bit harder with this thing. Not that hard, but it is a little bit harder. A lot of people just use this in MVM, but I don't even use it in MVM. I don't necessarily don't like it, but I'll put it in the I use it occasionally because it's not a thing I use very often. Oh boy, the base jumper. This is more of a meme than an actual, like, you know, doodad, but we'll just put it in the I use it occasionally. I don't know. I don't even know why I picked that. I just saw it. Oh, but I forgot about the most important sticky launcher of all time. The sticky jumper. My favorite. This is the best sticky launcher in the entire game. You can just zoom across maps. You can flank enemies. You can fly through the air and pop pills on top of enemies and they never see you coming. It's fantastic. I love this thing. In fact, I love this thing better than I like the stock sticky launcher. I actually think this is the best thing that Demo can have. So we have the shields, right? And the shields all are, you know, have their own talents and their, you know, areas of what they need to do and blah blah blah. I use it occasionally. I could actually put that for almost every shield here. I use all these occasionally. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the shields. It's just that I don't hybrid knight and I don't demo knight at all. And of course we have all the demo knight doodads down here. The bottle, my favorite. This is the best thing. How about the pain train? This is a weapon I actually forget exists sometimes. It's okay in certain situations. If you need to cap quickly, there you go. How about the caber? The Ullapool caber. I really like it, but I think it needs a fix. I think it should at least do a base damage of 125. I really wish it did, but we'll put it in I like it. And that's my list. I did it, boys. I made the unpopular thing popular again. Let's go. Hope you laughed. Hope you liked this. And I'm just going to wait for Face It beta to drop. Bye.